Hi everybody, my name is David Christopher and I'm the Director of Marketing and Growth at tailwindapp.com, Pinterest and Instagram, scheduling, analytics, etc. And I'm going to talk to you about how to organically grow your Instagram. This is something that I've kind of had to teach myself over the last year and a half, joining the Tailwind team. And I've been blogging about it, making webinars and all kinds of things, and really I thought to kind of pull that information into one 30-minute, 120-slide presentation that will give you everything you need to know about marketing on Instagram. That's the plan, so it's going to move pretty fast here, and it's not going to be very funny, and it's not going to be very engaging, so you might as well just leave. That's not true. It's going to be great. Why Instagram? Why? Because 700 million monthly active users use it. It's second only to Facebook. Lots of people on there. The people who are on there use it 51% of them use it daily, second only to Facebook. Instagram usage is 98% mobile, and mobile is growing rapidly. That's not necessarily better than desktop, but there it is. And we know something about mobile traffic, which is that it peaks in the mornings and in the afternoons. Instagram is a lifestyle network. It's not business, it's pleasure. We also see that on Instagram, folks get 10 times the engagement of Facebook per post. And we absolutely observe that with our own Instagram account. Engagements, likes, comments are easy to come by on Instagram. Clicks, however, are a little bit more difficult, but we'll get into that. The audience is younger, more urban than on Facebook. I'm talking about 55% you can reach 55% of 18 to 29-year-olds, but only 4% of 65-plus-year-olds on Instagram. All incomes are represented, slightly more women, 31% of women, 24% of men you can reach. Much more urban, so 32% of urbanites versus 18% of rural. Okay, so there's just some general an idea of who this is. So who should market there? So for this I looked at our members. So these are marketers who are doing well enough to be using a tool, paying to use a tool. Not paying a lot, by the way, but paying. The types of business that we see using our tool are retail and e-commerce, publishers, bloggers, makers and artists, professional services, technology and software, subscription services, in the following categories. So, if you're one of those businesses in one of these categories, then there's a good chance that Instagram could work for you. I'm not going to read all those, right, because you can all read. Or you could just take a snapshot of the emojis. You got it. But you're also going to need, the kind of brand that can be promoted with Instagram. So I would boil this down to the raw materials of pleasing visuals that people will respond to and that further your business goals. If you can do that, wrap it in a nice bow called an Instagram post, like Sonic have done right here, and that's actually a regrammed post, i.e. it's user-generated content that they then regrammed, and it's beautiful, right? That's really cool, and it subtly brings in the brand. Very nice. So how does Instagram work? One of my favorite presentations last year was a Snapchat presentation, Daniel Russell, and loved it. And he really kind of went into how the platform works. And honestly, that's still most of what I know about Snapchat. So I'm hoping to do that for you for Instagram. So this is the feed. Remember, 98% mobile traffic. So we're going to think about it from a mobile perspective from here on out. Here's a post in the feed. You scroll it with your finger. It's very magazine-like. We're talking about beautiful imagery. It just pops. Look how much of that screen is devoted to that image. Most of it. You double tap to like, easy, that's why the engagement is so high, right? It's so simple. 3 to 60-second videos are possible, they do well. You get 3 lines of captions with a ... more, you can click that and you can write as much as you like, more or less. So you've got kind of the Twitter-esque, short, but sweet, but you also have the depth. Endorsements on the platform feel really natural. If you get a great visual, then you can often get away with all kinds of things as far as influencer endorsements, essentially. But there's no way to link, so we often see this click link in bio for details, right? This is the thing that marketers just cannot stand. I'm out, There's no way to link a post to my content or my shop or whatever it is. But don't let that worry you, because Instagram users have gotten trained to click the bio for details. So they click for the person's profile, and here it comes, and then here's the link that they promised in their post. So that's basically how it works. What that means is that far fewer clicks leave Instagram, engagement on the platform is higher, clicks from the platform are lower, but if you are providing something like a store and somebody's going to shop, then you've got really high validation from those clicks. They had to click twice in order to get to your website, and we see very high conversion rates from Instagram traffic, albeit not that much traffic. And Instagram is changing fast. The biggest thing is stories. Stories, they appear at the top of the Instagram feed. They are essentially, they're a rip of Snapchat. And they sort of appear for 24 hours. You can look at somebody's story, and they appear everywhere, all over the place. So they're becoming very popular. In fact, 200 million people use stories every day, and that's more than Snapchat. So if you're interested in pursuing Snapchat as a platform, you should think about starting with Instagram, because you get those 700 million users, plus you get the 200 million on stories, and then you can explore with stories whether Snap might work for you too. So how do stories work? This is Moment. They're a maker of the best products in the world for mobile photographers. That's what their bio says there. Now they're at the intersection, in my mind, of photography and adventure, much like GoPro are at the intersection of videography and adventure. Okay? It's all for mobile cameras. So let's look at one of their stories. I love this example. It's called The Momentist. They have a 7-segment story, a 6-frame story, and it's essentially a newsletter that they deliver via a story. So we've got their top 5 stories from the blog in May. Number 1, editing mobile photos, how to create a signature style in Lightroom, very relevant. Notice this swipe up to read. That's fairly recent, in the last 4 months, I'd say. That's enabled for business accounts that have more than 10,000 followers. And that is a powerful link from Instagram that is new. So you can swipe up and go straight to the blog. And then the second piece is kind of, hey, we're having a trip to Alaska, you should join us. The third piece is, which of our pieces of equipment is right for you? It's a product comparison. Then we have, they made a short film with one of their lenses, you can see it in action. And then we have the best ways, a how-to guide, best way to use our lens for a wide angle, okay? Beautiful content, all of it really beautifully on brand. It's fantastic content marketing delivered through a story, much as if it was an email newsletter. What a cool way to deliver your email newsletter. So we tried this. This is one of our blog posts, the one Instagram hashtag strategy that works for everyone. 182 clicks we tracked through Bitly with this, which was a 32% click-through rate from the number of people who looked at the story. Okay? It's really strong. 182 clicks is more clicks than we've ever received from an organic post, a single organic post on any social network. That's actually a lot. And a 32% click rate is better than any email we've ever sent. So this is really powerful stuff. Let's talk a little bit more about positioning. So when somebody clicks on your profile, this is what they see. What they see essentially is some information about you and then a whole bunch of your past posts. That's like a visual, it's like a visual slap around the face of your brand. And this is where they decide whether to follow you, and it's just where they decide whether they're going to click your link or not. So it's super important. So, the thunder. You look at that, and what I feel is that these guys are kind of thunder up. They're in that, they've really got this right, okay? You can feel the energy of fandom and the aggressiveness of play in the images. They're doing well, they're on brand. This is a local design studio. They're at the confluence of design and taste. Cuba House Creative. Beautiful, right? You look at this and you say, these are people who have good taste. I'm interested in doing business with them. Local flavor from Tulsa people. We look at this, we say, oh yeah, like I recognize that building. These are my people, right? This is Tulsa. I'm interested in this content. Oklahoma State University Orange Pride. Look at the consistent use of colors here. They're bringing out that orange. It's beautiful. They've tied this together very nicely. I don't know who does this, but it's really good work. Clarity, who were upstairs earlier, Clarity Coffee, do a really good, nice work as well. A consistent look of the filters. I think it's no filter, and I think it gets across pure coffee. Is kind of what I get from this. So, and here's another one, the day designer. So this is for busy people. It's day planners, and what it says to me is it's a kind of busy and me, and it's busy, you know, but it's rightly busy. It's consistently busy. Is that me? If yes, follow. So the question that you want to answer when somebody looks at your feed is, do I want to see this every day? So you have to think about not only that individual post, but how that individual post plays with all of your posts in order to create a good feed or grid or 9-grid, depending on how you want to talk about it. And every day, really every single day, yes, every single day. We ran some data at Tailwind. We found that the more you post to Instagram, the faster you grow your following. If you post more than once a day or more, you grow your following 56% in 3 months, okay, on average. And if you post less than once a week, that number is 14% over 3 months on average. So you grow faster if you post more. We also looked at whether your engagement rate would drop if you started posting more. And what we found was counterintuitive, that it does not. It actually goes up. So if you have frequency unchanged over this 3-month period, you don't change how often you post, 3% increase in engagement. 19% increase in engagement if you double the amount that you posted across the data set. And we're talking about more than 100,000 users here. So basically the message here is, when you start posting more people follow you, but also they engage with more of your posts. And part of that is algorithmic, because Instagram has moved from a chronological feed to an algorithmic feed, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. How the heck do you post daily? Well, I was at a coffee shop the other day, Aspen Coffee in Edmond. There was a piece of paper on the back wall, actually on the fridge, that said, post to Instagram every day, please, thank you, something like that. Okay, that's easy enough. If you are if you're a business that is right there on the front lines, and you're a maker, you know, you can take photos of your products and away you go, then this is easy enough. But most of us are not. We're not on the front lines of our business, so we have to be more deliberate. And really a great way to do this is time boxing. Essentially, you have a couple of hours each week where you pull together the posts for the whole week, and a scheduling tool is basically what can allow this. And here you can see a schedule for Tailwind for the next week, all these different posts, and up here, this is a 9-grid toggle. You click that, it shows you what your 9-grid's gonna look like. As you can see, we at Tailwind, we maintain on our account this kind of gradient of Instagram's brand colors. And these are all tips and stats. Sometimes we throw some tits in. They do really well. Pro tip. So here's all those posts, and we can see. So this helps us basically maintain that, right? Yeah, we couldn't do this unless we could see that 9-grid. But what am I going to post? Do you want me to post every single day, or maybe more than once a day? How am I going to find that content? It's not easy on Instagram. This is a big barrier for entry for a lot of marketers. I don't have a square picture every day that I want to share. If you're in the kind of business that's really hard to come by, then Instagram might not be for you. But if you really think about it, you might find that you can do that. And something like a university, like Oklahoma State, you can see the opportunities are really endless once they really start thinking about how they might come up with that kind of content. And then you need an editorial strategy. So this is Melissa Meganson. She's the marketing manager at Tailwind. She manages Tailwind's Instagram account. And when we got together and started thinking about what our editorial mission statement was going to be for the Instagram account, we went, of course, to our mission statement, which is to make world-class marketing easy for everyone. And from that, we boiled down this mission statement for specifically for Instagram. We think that if we can be helpful, empowering, and inspiring through our Instagram feed, then we'll be doing well. We'll be basically in line with our mission statement, and we'll get engagement. So what does that look like for us? Here's our grid. I'd encourage you to think about your editorial strategy in nines, since that's what people are going to see. So for us, it's 4 stats and tips. I did it. 2, promoting our content, blog posts, essentially. Hey, read the full blog post over here. 2, slice of life. These are promoting our members' tweets, our members' Instagram posts, and our online culture and stuff like that. Here's the team. And then we have 1 quote. It's easy engagement, basically, and it's really easy to do. So that's the strategy that we've built up. And part of what we did to kind of find this was we used Post Inspector, which is in the Tailwind suite. Initially we're doing a lot of startup posts. So here we're searching for startup. We can see that the #1 post, 113 likes. When we do this for Insta-Tip, the #1 post is 379 likes. Okay, it's pretty obvious that when we start posting about Insta-Tip in our caption, that's one of the hashtags we use, we get a lot more engagement. So let's do more of that. And that's how I'd encourage you to kind of guide your editorial strategy. You can watch what works without Tailwind, but that's kind of handy. So let's talk about growing your followers. Here's tactics of fast-growing Tailwind members. All of these, you're going to see are Tailwind members. So this is Thimble Press. It grew 24,000 followers, which is 13% in 3 months. One of the things they did was they encouraged tagging. They know that they have really, the people who like their kind of stuff follow them. And that those people have friends who like that kind of stuff. So they specifically call out all the time, tag your bestest bestie. And the people that they're looking for are the kind of people who will respond to that kind of message. Tag your bestest bestie, heart eyes, heart eyes, heart eyes. That works for them, amongst other things. Holding contests is a really big deal. So Bella Ella Boutique, 3 boutiques, an online store, grew 3,500 followers, 17% growth in 3 months. They hold contests. Why do contests on Instagram help with engagement and growth? Well, the rules of a contest on Instagram are you follow our account, you like the post that the contest is on, you tag your friends in the comments, which is basically like the perfect viral recipe. So we ran some numbers, and we found that Instagram accounts that hold contests grow 70% faster than those that don't. I think that's partly because they're more sophisticated, but I also think that contests work because we also found that contests generated 36 times more comments than your average post, and I think it was something like 5 times as many likes. So this is DockATot. They're a startup. They're probably beyond a startup now, but they're a product for babies. And they grew 27,000 followers, which is 18% in 3 months. And their strategy is all about regramming content, user-generated content, or UGC. So they have a hashtag DockATot. If you use it, then they like mine that for content. So half of their content they don't even create. They just share other people's content. This is an example of that. This one got 2,500 likes. We reached out to Alina, and she said, sharing gorgeous photos of babies resting, playing, and sharing the amazing success other mums have had with the DockATot is our core strategy. Who can take a picture that would appeal to your demographic better than your most talented demographic? The most talented members of your demographic? I don't know. Nobody, I think, is what I'm implying. Okay, so this is Jennifer Priest. She's a blogger, 8,500 followers she grew, which is nearly 100% in 3 months. Talked to her, she said hashtags was her bag. She does a lot of research into hashtags. So what are hashtags? They're essentially a discovery mechanism for other posts. You find a hashtag that you're interested in, you click on it, you see something like this. You see the top posts in that hashtag, you see the most recent posts in that hashtag. If you can feature in the top posts in the hashtag, for a while there, you're going to be one of just 9 posts that people are most likely to engage with. So that's the goal. That's the big aim when you're putting a hashtag in. Can I get in the top posts? And that's based on the engagement that your post has gotten, especially in a short period of time after launch. But then also you'll appear in the most recent posts for that hashtag, but you'll quickly get pushed out of those posts as new posts are added. How many hashtags should you use? Latest TrackMaven study says 9, 2.5 times as much engagement as using 1. So we looked at how quickly posts get kicked out of hashtags, and we found that if it's a post with if it's a hashtag with 10 million posts in it, you were looking about 3 minutes in the grid, in the top 9, in the most recent, so you're really not going to be there for very long. What that means is you may think that love, with its billions of people who've posted to it, is a great hashtag. It's actually just going to, you're going to be out of there in no time. Very difficult to gain traction. So we recommend a blend of hashtags, 20% competitive, 70% somewhat popular. We categorize those as good or best. You can think of those as 10,000 to 10 million posts, and 10% niche. And Tailwind have a thing called, it's actually our biggest differentiator in the Instagram space because nobody else has it, called Tailwind Hashtag Finder. And Instagram autocomplete is how most people do their research on hashtags. So you type men's style, and it basically gives you other words with that root predominantly. So men's styles, men's style guide, men's style blog, men's style 14. You can see it quickly has exhausted itself. Good suggestions. Meanwhile, we do contextual recommendations. So when somebody uses this hashtag, how often do they use it with another hashtag? And with that, we're able to give you much better suggestions like Dapper or GQ or Men with Class. And then we also categorize them by niche, good, best, competitive, so that you can basically quickly you just tap the ones that you're interested in, basically, and they go straight into your caption for your post. And then you can even save it as a list. And it's got a little counter as well, so you don't use more than the 30 max that you can use on an Instagram post. Another way that you can grow followers is engaging in comments. Gardens of the Sun is an Etsy store, extremely successful, out of Bali, so she's got a great life. 19,000 followers, 66% growth in 3 months. Incredible engagement on this. It's like you walked into her store and you are overhearing her talk with her customers. In this instance, she's made this ring out of this particular stone, and she's saying, I don't like it in this setting as a ring, actually. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. And somebody comes in, I just see rings, but I don't, so that's what happened. And then Cassidy Vintage says, that stone is incredible. Maybe it would look good with a couple of small accent stones. Gives us some suggestions. She says, I just see rings. Let's see what happens. And what she does is she goes back, she makes it into something else, she sells it. And lots of people want to buy it, right? Because they actually feel like they're invested in it. They helped make it to an extent. Reached out to her and asked her what her success was and how she attributed it. And she said, the main thing I've been seeing is that increased engagement leads to more engagement. In the end, more engagement will also lead to new followers. So, get engagement. Or maybe that's the key. Part of the key. As I said, Instagram, the feed went algorithmic. And they put this as, we're putting the people you care about first. What this means is, rather than seeing a chronological list of everybody who posts, or who posted since you last visited, what you see is the select number of posts that Instagram thinks you'll like. And the rest you never see. You can't see, even if you want to try and see, because Instagram thinks you're not going to like them. So how do you get into those posts that Instagram's going to think you will like? Well, here's some ways in which nobody knows how the algorithm works. After a long time as an SEO, you can't imagine how quickly that just spouts off my lips. But here's some things that we think we know. Relationship is important. So how often does this person interact with your content? If they interact with it a lot in the past, that is a really good sign that they're going to like more, so they show it. So find followers who will engage with your content. Interests. Is this specific post on a topic that they engage with in general? So post to the interests of your followers. Engagement. Is this specific post more popular than others that they could be shown right now? Well, create great content that people will engage with. That's kind of the secret there. And timeliness. Was it posted since their last visit? And if so, how recently? And here you've got to post regularly and at the best times. And posting at the best times, when most of your followers are online, also helps because you get more engagement more quickly. And how quickly you get the engagement also is a factor in the algorithm, we believe. So, Tailwind for Instagram, we have a thing called the Smart Schedule. It's our other big competitive advantage. Basically, you say, I want to post 2 times a day I'm available to post between these hours, because Instagram will not, we're an official partner tool, so Instagram will not let you will not let us post on your behalf. So it pushes a notification to your phone, you swipe, and it posts it. So you have to be available. You don't want to get those notifications in the middle of the night. So I did that from my personal account, and it tells me 6:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. on Monday would be the times for me to post when most of my followers will be engaged. Remember, this is a leisure platform. Surprised me. You would not necessarily think that that would be the case, but there it is. So that's when I'm going to get the most engagement. So here's some do's and don'ts of engagement from Tailwind members. So, Brides Magazine. This post got 70% more likes than their average post. Why? Well, it's perfect for Brides Magazine. It's a rose-tinted kind of, so they call it a pink-hued wedding gown. You can't see the face, so you can easily project. It's a beautiful image. What is she doing? Running up a pier, running on a boat? I don't know, but it's wonderful. This one got 66% less likes than her average post. And why? Because it's a groom. Brides don't care about grooms. Who's this smut? Get him off. You can be funny and you can be cute, like The Economist here. This post got 106% more likes than their average post. This one, 50% less likes. It's the announcement of a divorce. It's morally complicated to like the announcement of a divorce, I would argue. 250% more likes than their average post by Random House here, where they have Emma Watson leaving books in subway station in New York. Because that's fascinating, right? And Emma Watson, of course. 50% less likes than their average post. Is this like random assortment of books? Like, and what am I liking here? Am I liking one book? Am I saying I read these books? Am I liking the concept of books? I don't know. I'm not going to like it. This is an interior designer, Kelly Nan. Nearly 300% more likes than her average post. Fashionable. She's on trend last year with this white kitchen. But when she gets up close and she tries to sell a product, minus 50% likes of her average post. Reached out to her, she said, I don't care. I got to sell products, so these posts have to be in. Fair enough. Paleo gluten-free eats. Look at that. More than 1,000% more likes than their average post. Why? Because it's a freaking delicious chocolate cake. It's made with paleo ingredients. That's what they want. Minus 33%, some mint. Look how pretty that mint is. And it's paleo gluten-free. I don't care, man. It's mint. Endorsements can work too. Of course, you will have heard of influencer marketing. It's big on Instagram. Here's an example from our members. So this is Catherine, whose surname I can't pronounce, but she was on The Bachelor, and my wife follows her. 1.2, along with 1.2 million other people. And she's an influencer. She happened to post this photo. Got 750 comments. I have no idea how I'm doing for time. So if somebody, 2 minutes, 20 minutes. 2? What the heck? Okay, 750 comments. So what are they? Just a bunch of people saying, where did you get your swimsuit from? We love it. About 2 hours later, Amber Mish hops in. Hey, oh, it's Albion Fit. Oh, the bikini's Albion Fit. She's just, and in the end, she's just like tagging everybody in like one comment. And of course, Amber works for Albion Fit. Albion Fit are a Tailwind member. So I reached out to them. Anyway, before I reached out to them, they reached out to her, and they said, hey, something's going on here. Would you mind posting another one of these? And so she posted this video, 500,000 views, and she mentioned that it's Albion Fit. She gave a coupon code. Something was happening in the background here. I asked what it was. They wouldn't tell me. But my wife really wanted that swimsuit, and it was 3 weeks on the back of it. So I know it worked. So how do you convert from this? Well, the cleanest conversion is shopping. So if you have shoppable Instagram, you basically click from the link in bio, you see like this. It's basically a shoppable feed of Instagram. You find the post that you're interested in, it's related to a product or more than one product, takes you to the shopping cart, you check out. Very clean. Works beautifully for e-commerce. How do you evaluate the value of this? Well, awareness and engagement. Instagram's super strong. Clicks and assists in sales, it's complicated. So you can use insights in the app for stuff like impressions. Tailwind has more depth if you want analytics on this stuff. Traffic appears as direct in Google Analytics, we discovered, which just makes it really difficult to track. But know that if you're saying like, well, no, there's no traffic from Instagram, you're not seeing it. What you need to do is you either have a unique coupon code that will enable you to kind of track the sales, or you can use a UTM code, which you converted via a bit.ly link, and Google Analytics will be able to see that. It'll look a bit like this. This is one of our stories. This day it got 51 sessions, and we can even see conversions and stuff. That's it. That's everything that I know about Instagram, and now you know all too. If you would like a free month of Tailwind, it's an Oklahoma City-based startup, and we do Pinterest and Instagram, and all of those tools that I showed you are there, and support Oklahoma City. And thank you all very much. Peace out.